Ladies and gentlemen, what would you do if I told you that 90 days from this very moment, your life could be unrecognizable in the best way possible, that the dream you've tucked away in your heart, the one you've told no one about, could become your living, breathing reality in just 3 short months? Now, before you dismiss that as impossible, let me remind you, every great achievement in history began in the mind of one man or woman who refused to believe in limitations. Every significant achievement begins with absolute clarity. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. And most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they simply don't know exactly what they want. The first key to achieving any dream in 90 days is deciding with precision what that dream is. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful, or I want to be happy. Those are vague wishes. A dream must be concrete, measurable, and defined in detail so your mind can begin to work toward it with purpose. When you clarify your dream, you activate a powerful mechanism in your brain called the reticular activating system, which starts filtering information in your environment to align with your goal. Suddenly, you begin noticing opportunities, resources, and ideas that were invisible to you before. But this only happens when you've given your mind a clear picture of what to focus on. Writing your dream down is a critical part of this process. It moves the idea from imagination into form. It transforms a wish into a commitment. It's a declaration to yourself and to the universe that you are serious. When you can describe your dream in vivid detail, what it looks like, feels like, sounds like, you create a mental blueprint. Just like an architect would never begin building without a detailed plan, you must not begin your 90-day journey without knowing exactly what you're building toward. Clarity also fuels motivation. When your goal is clear, your why becomes stronger. You know what you're waking up for, working late for, and sacrificing for. What decision is bigger? It creates focus and direction, cutting through the noise and distractions of life. In short, clarity is not just the first step, it is the foundation upon which every other step must stand. Desire is the engine that drives achievement. Without it, goals become lifeless and action becomes forced or inconsistent. To accomplish your dream in 90 days, wanting it is not enough. You must need it. It has to be something that keeps you awake at night and pulls you out of bed in the morning. This kind of intense desire is what Napoleon Hill called a burning desire, and it is the emotional fuel behind all lasting success. A burning desire transforms obstacles into challenges, not barriers. It gives you the emotional resilience to keep going when things get hard, which they inevitably will. People often give up, not because their goals are impossible, but because their desire isn't strong enough to carry them through the moments of resistance. If your dream doesn't stir something deep inside you, it's unlikely you'll stay with it when the excitement fades and the real work begins. To ignite this kind of desire, your dream must be personal and meaningful. It can't just be something that sounds nice or looks good on paper. You must connect it to your values, your vision, and your purpose. Ask yourself why you want it, and keep asking until you reach the core truth. The more emotional weight your goal carries, the more powerful your desire will become. On nights that desire is awakened, it begins to reshape your habits, your decisions, and even your self-image. You start to think and act like the person who achieves that goal. You begin attracting people, ideas, and resources aligned with your dream. A burning desire is not just an emotional state, it's a creative force that draws the future you want into your present reality. When desire becomes your dominant emotion, 90 days is all the time you need to change your life. A dream without a plan is merely a fantasy. To achieve anything meaningful, especially within a focused 90-day time frame, you must move beyond inspiration and into strategic, consistent action. The bridge between desire and achievement is planning. Once you know exactly what you want and why you want it, the next step is to break that dream into manageable daily actions that will steadily move you forward. Without a clear, actionable plan, even the most intense motivation will eventually fizzle out. It is important to realize that you don't need a perfect plan to start. What you need is a definite plan, one that you refine as you go. Think of your goal as a destination on a map. You may not know every turn at the beginning, but you know where you're headed. As you begin taking steps, the next path reveals itself. The key is to focus on doing something every day that brings you closer to your outcome. Action builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Daily action also creates discipline, which is more reliable than motivation. There will be days when your energy is low or life throws challenges your way. But if you've built a habit of acting on your plan no matter what, you stay on course. This discipline separates dreamers from doers. Each day, ask yourself, what one thing can I do today that moves me forward? Then do it with intent. When you commit to consistent action, your dream begins to take shape in reality. You develop skills, attract opportunities, and gain clarity through doing, not just thinking. Your confidence grows because you see progress. Over 90 days, these small daily victories compound into massive transformation. The plan doesn't have to be complex, it just has to be executed. Doubt is one of the most powerful forces working against your success. It creeps in quietly, often disguised as logic or caution, and convinces you to question your abilities, your timing, and your worthiness. Left unchecked, doubt destroys dreams before they ever have a chance to live. To achieve your goal in 90 days, you must become ruthless in eliminating doubt and replacing it with unwavering belief in yourself and your vision. This is not about blind optimism. It is about choosing faith over fear every single day. Fear and faith cannot exist in the same mental space. You must consciously decide which one you will feed. When you believe in the possibility of your goal with total conviction, your thoughts, words, and actions begin to align with that belief. This mental shift is not just psychological. It is powerful enough to change your outcomes. People sense confidence. The world responds to certainty. Your belief acts like a magnet, drawing resources, people, and ideas toward your goal. An effective way to strengthen your belief is to repeatedly affirm your dream. Speak it aloud. Visualize it as if it has already happened. Read your written goal every morning and every night. The more often you reinforce your belief, the deeper it becomes embedded in your subconscious. Over time, your mind begins to accept it as truth, and your behavior naturally follows. Doubt is not something you defeat once, it is something you manage daily. When you feel it creeping in, don't entertain it. Replace it with the vision of your desired outcome. Replace to your why. Remind yourself of the progress you've made. In a 90-day sprint, there's no time for mental hesitation. Belief is your fuel, and you must protect it fiercely. What you believe, you begin to become. Persistency is the invisible force that turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Many people begin a goal with excitement, but very few stay the course when things get difficult. That's where the true difference lies. Persistence is the deciding factor. Over a 90-day journey toward your dream, there will be obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. What separates those who succeed from those who fall short isn't talent or luck, it's the refusal to quit. The path to your goal will not be a straight line. You may face failures, rejections, delays, or situations that test your patience and resilience. In those moments, it's tempting to think that things aren't working or that you chose the wrong goal. But these difficulties are not signs to stop. They are part of the process. In fact, they often appear right before a breakthrough. Most people give up too soon, just steps away from success, because they misunderstand what persistence really is. Persistence in doing what you said you would do long after the mood you made the decision in has faded. It means showing up every day, regardless of how you feel. It means continuing to take action even when you're tired, discouraged, or unsure of the outcome. Persistence doesn't require perfection, only consistency. The key is not to never fall, but to always get back up one more time. Over 90 days, persistence compounds. Each time you overcome resistance, you build mental toughness. Each small win stacks on the next, creating unstoppable momentum. And when you look back, you'll realize that it wasn't talent, timing, or resources that got you there. It was your ability to keep going. Persistence isn't glamorous. It's not always exciting, but it is the most powerful habit of all achievers. Keep showing up and the dream will follow. Time is the most valuable asset you have, and in a 90-day journey, every day counts. Many people wait for the perfect moment to start pursuing their goals, believing they need more time, more knowledge, or more resources. But the truth is, the perfect time rarely arrives. The people who achieve their dreams are not the ones who wait, they are the ones who act. The urgency to begin is what sets great achievers apart from those who merely wish. 90 days may seem short, but it's enough to make real, measurable progress if you use each day with purpose. The sense of urgency does not mean rushing or panicking. It means being fully present, fully committed, and fully engaged with the time you have. You treat each day as a non-renewable opportunity to move closer to your dream. The clock is ticking, and every day lost is a day you don't get back. When you adopt this mindset, procrastination loses its power and action becomes automatic. A 90-day window creates focus. It gives your goal a deadline, which transforms it from a vague hope into a specific mission. You stop putting things off someday. When you know the finish line is just around the corner, you begin to value your time more, and distractions become easier to resist. There is a quiet power in deciding that now is the moment, that today matters, that this hour, this task, this step is a crucial part of your transformation. When you bring urgency to your actions, you accelerate results. Momentum builds, confidence grows, and before long, you realize that what once felt distant is now within reach. Not because time expanded, but because you chose to use it with intention. The time to start is now.